So now we studied the grammar, we studied the origins, we studied every aspect of the Pater Noster. And in theory, we know everything about it. We can read it and understand it. Now let's read the Pater Noster in the Bible of Borso d'Este. And let's try to analyze some of the common abbreviations we find here. It begins here, Pater. Pater Noster. So you see Pater. This symbol here looks like a 2. It's a common way of writing the R at the end of words. Then you have Noster, Noster, ST. And this is a link. You are linking a long S, this is a long S, with a T here, you see. So it's done almost together, you see. They are joining them together. And this is simply an ST, Pater Noster. Qui, Q-U-I, qui S in celis. And you see here the diphthong, this E, it's going to be sometimes I, right? Caelis. Sanctificetur. Let me zoom here. Long S, remember this is just an S. Sancti, this is an abbreviation, very common. Let me write that here. S-C-E, titulus. This line right here, I remind you, is a titulus. It indicates that something's missing in the word and you have to integrate. If you go look in a dictionary or you simply know that by memory, this is sancti. So what's missing in the word? Well, A, N, and the T. And you preserve these 3 elements, and that's how you obtain the abbreviation, sancti. Ficetur. This is complete. F-I-C-E-T-U-R. Again, the R that looks like a 2 here, right? At the end of the word. Nomen tuum. This is quite easy to read. This one not so much because they look like strokes like this, right? Sometimes you simply have to count them. This is a T, 1, 2, U, 1, 2, U, 1, 2, 3, M. Adveniat, A, majuscule. This is missing a horizontal stroke, but it's an A. This is a D. This one here is a D. Adveniat, again, count 1, 2, N, 1, I. Adveniat, this is an A, T. Regnum, R-E-G-N-U-M. And again, tuum like above, T-U-U-M. F, this is a majuscule F. Fiat, F-I-A-T, fiat, V-O-L-U-N-T-A-S, voluntas. And you see here we have the normal S instead of the long S. That's because the normal S we use typically at the end of words. Let me see here. Whilst the long S we use at the beginning or in the middle of words. All right? Fiat voluntas tua. Sicut, long S, sicut in cello. And then we have this symbol here. This is the Tironian note. It looks like a 7. It means et, and. In terra, okay, sicut in cello, et in terra. And you see here the usage of the 2 variants of the R. The one that looks like a 2 and the normal one, terra. It's common when you repeat. Sometimes in Gothic script, especially later Gothic script, you typically repeat the R, so you use one variant and the other one. Panem, majuscule P, P-A-N-E-M, panem, and another abbreviated word. Remember, we know it's abbreviated because of this symbol here, the titulus. We have N, R, M. What could this word be? Again, you will have to look in the dictionary, but if you know by memory that this could only be one word because it resembles a lot, nostrum, right? So you are integrating the O, the S, actually the O, the S, the T, and the U. And you are left only with NRM in the abbreviation. Usually abbreviations are going to contain just enough elements for you to guess what the correct word is, all right? Supersubstantialem, long S, U-P-E-R, super. Another abbreviation, substantialem. Let me write that because that can be confusing. S-B, titulus, alem. SB is a common abbreviation for substantia. So it's only 2 letters, SB, with a titulus, but it's so common that people knew that that meant substantia. You don't have to repeat the A, by the way. The A is there. Substantia, and this A is the common hinge between the substantia and the ending lem, substantialem, from substantialis, right? And I remind you, we find substantialis here instead of quotidianus because this is the version by Matthew, not by Luke. In Luke we find quotidianus. In Matthew we find supersubstantialem. Da nobis hodie. Very easy to read. Et dimite. A lot of vertical strokes, just count them if you don't recognize them. Dimite. Nob, abbreviated with the symbol here, so you have to integrate nobis. Common abbreviation for the dative, ablative, nobis. Debita nostra. And this nostra is another abbreviation where we saw that already before. Nostrum. What's changing? The ending. Noster, nostra, nostrum. In this case, debita nostra, neuter, plural. Sicut, et, another Tironian note, we saw that before here. Et nos dimittimus debitoribus, another abbreviation. This is very common, debitor, and this EB, sort of like a little hook here. This is a very common abbreviation for ibus. Debitoribus, right? Very common. Nostris, and once again, what I told you before, you have the abbreviation, and what changes? The ending. Because the ending is going to tell you the case, right? So you need the ending. So instead of nostra, nostris. Debitoribus nostris. Et ne nos inducas in temptationem. What's missing here? It's missing an M. An M or an N, okay? This titulus here is telling you that something's missing there. You don't know what, but you can guess it's an N or an M. Temptationem. All right? That's the function of the titulus, to tell you that something is missing. This is very common abbreviation for set. It's like a long S, sort of a tree. Set. Libera nos a malo. So that's the whole Pater Noster. And you see there are some abbreviations, not too many of them. Some of them you can guess. For example, nostrum, nostra, nostrum. That's something you can guess. Sancti, you kind of can guess. But there are others that you need to know, right? That you need to know what this actually means. And for that, you need a dictionary, usually the Capelli. So if you want to know more about abbreviations, go and enroll in the medieval manuscripts course. As an exercise, it's up to you to read the shorter version of the Pater Noster in Luke, which is here, and you will find, spoiler alert, quotidianum, and not supersubstantialis. But that's a homework for you to do.